Are you ready for the most lukewarm takes on S.H.I.E.L.D. Hero that you've ever heard? Because I'm about to do that. Please probably don't watch this one. I picked up the show out of a desire to see something I was starving for, and this poster seemed to indicate that this show would be it. Look here, what do you see? Well, here's what I see. Girl with sword. Guy with shield. Ergo, guy is support, girl fights.
そして私に戦う理由を示してくださいました。あの波に立ち向かう理由を。私はあなたの剣です。どこへだってついていきます。
そうか。
This is the shit I'm here for. Would it be fair to say that the gender dynamics of your average fantasy anime are not quite, shall we say, 21st century? Or is the 21st century just as shit as the rest of human history? Either's possible. In any case, how it usually goes, note, usually does not mean always, is you've got the leading dude bro, and he's super strong and just the best. He's probably got a sword or something equally badass, and he does all the fighting. Look at him, he's so cool. And then you've got the leading lady, and she can be one of a few things. She can appear from the outset to be a badass with a sword or something in her own right, her strength comparable to, but not on par with, leading dude bros. But in the end, that doesn't matter because she'll get kidnapped or put in some sort of situation where she has to be saved by Dude Bro or otherwise rely on him to save the day. Her other option is to be a support character, a mage or something. She stands behind Dude Bro and is like, I believe in you, badass McHero, but she rarely gets directly involved in the fighting itself. After all, isn't that the man's job? And I hate all of that. Not only does that norm reflect and reinforce misogynistic worldviews, but it also reflects a serious lack of imagination on the part of the creators, an inability to conceive of people partaking in roles outside of a very narrow scope. Adhering to those roles limits the storytelling possibilities of these narratives. Thus, they all start to feel samey and boring. What I'm saying is anime is trash. Based off of this poster and the premise, S.H.I.E.L.D. Hero seemed primed from the outset to buck that trend, which sparked my interest. And it did! Kind of. To be honest, there are at least a few elements of this show that may or may not reflect some questionable gender politics, and I am not going to address them because I do not consider myself well educated enough on some of the topics broached by the show to deliver an informed opinion, and also because I just want to mostly focus on what more or less works. Just trying to keep it cool here. So I feel like I've already heavily implied my point, but here it is anyway. Whereas in many shit shows, the male lead is the big badass who does all the cool fighting nonsense while the girl is either incidental or there to be protected, in S.H.I.E.L.D. Hero, none of that is true. The male lead isn't a noble hero, he's an angry, vindictive man who can't fight and can only play support, while the female lead is the badass with the sword who does all the ass-kicking. This is refreshing because, yes, it does challenge the norm. It's sad that we live in a world where that sort of norm exists to be challenged at all, but that is reality. This is great because not only does it reduce the misogynistic implications inherent within the story, though it does not eliminate them, but it broadens the storytelling possibilities of, if not the genre, then at least this one show they're in, and hey, maybe it'll go on to inspire future works. Suddenly, one type of character doesn't have to fill one role. Many different characters from different walks of life can fill all sorts of roles and tell stories all their own, and to me that's super exciting. But S.H.I.E.L.D. Hero, instead of just inverting the normal relationship, does one better. It reconsiders what it means to fight together. Instead of one character being framed as protecting the other, both actively fight with and support one another. Raphtalia may have the offensive role, but that doesn't mean Naofumi's support is a secondary concern. They support and would be crippled without each other. On the battlefield, they're very much a team, neither more important than the other. Instead of one being dominant, protecting, and overshadowing the other, they work together as equals. So not only has S.H.I.E.L.D. Hero challenged this standard and trite assumption that the man needs to protect the woman, it scoffs at the idea of a dominant partner at all, instead framing the partners as more or less equal and promoting togetherness and cooperation among all peoples regardless of circumstances. A much more uplifting and humanitarian stance than the initial episodes would have you believe. Well, I say all that to be honest, this show's not perfect in that respect. Like I said earlier, there are aspects of this show I don't feel educated enough to comfortably discuss. For instance, Raphtalia's slave crest kind of puts a giant fucking question mark over the whole thing. And then there was that whole episode where Raphtalia and Phila were competing to see who would be the better wife for now. What the fuck was that garbage? I don't want to pretend that this show doesn't have questionable elements which deserve to be interrogated, because it absolutely does, and they absolutely do. Just, I'm not the right person for the job. All I wanted to do here was shine a spotlight on one little aspect of the show that I thought was kind of neat. Thanks for sitting through my rambling about a popular current anime. Was I fishing for views with this? I actually held a Twitter poll back when the show was new, and Twitter told me to make a video, so make a video I did. Last time I did that, bad idea. Regular viewers, more Precure is coming up real soon. Thanks again for watching, and go watch the Slime Show instead.